Mallory Beach's unaliving felt like the true test of whether or not the Murdaughs could cover up literally anything. And the corruption runs very deep. She was only 19. She was kind and beautiful and full of life. Her name was Mallory Beach. And one night on the water, one of the Murdaugh sons made a choice. He made a choice to have beverages and drive a boat at high speeds. And I think it was because he felt invincible. He felt like he could do anything and get away with it. And it turns out he could. But that boat crashed. And just like the Murdaugh family, everything started to sink. It was February 23rd, 2019. 6 friends climbed aboard a 17-foot boat that was owned by the Murdaugh family. And who was driving it? It was young 19-year-old Paul Murdaugh. And Paul had a ton of beverages that night. Yeah, these kids were 19, barely out of high school, under the age, and they were going to different establishments having beverages. And those establishments gave them those beverages. And they had been drinking all day. Just after 2 a.m., the boat sped down Archers Creek in Beaufort County, and now everything is dark, everything is quiet, and this boat of speeding teenagers who shouldn't have been behind the wheel comes plowing down. And the teenagers on the boat knew that Paul should not be driving. His girlfriend was arguing with him. His friends were begging, please, please just stop the boat. But Paul, he felt invincible. He felt like he could do anything. So he kept going. And then boom, impact. The boat hit a bridge and it sent everyone flying into the water. This was not a little bump. When you think of a boat being on open water, you sometimes think of it just being a little bump. It was a full-on wreck. And it sent people flying into icy cold water. And just the impact could have unalived everyone. And everyone got to the shore and they're looking around and they can't find Mallory Beach. Her friends stood on the shore, soaking wet, calling her name, but she never came back up. All of those teenagers ended up going to the hospital, and of course, Paul called his father, so Alec ended up showing up. But he was not alone. He showed up with his father, Randolph, and they began going to work. They began trying to convince everyone that everything was fine, that everything was okay, and trying to do damage control right away. Police body cam footage showed Paul smirking and laughing and refusing to take a breathalyzer. And even on the body cam footage, you hear one officer say, "Oh, that's the Murdaugh boy," which has just this big impact on police officers' minds. They're like, oh, okay, everybody stop, protect him. And this was even before they found out that Mallory was unalived. She was missing for a week. For a week, her family tried to find her, and her friends and the people that were in the wreckage were trying to find her. And the Murdaughs just stood by doing damage control, trying to protect. But it turns out that Mallory Beach lost her life that night. And this just goes completely unnoticed because the Murdaugh boys are the name that everybody says. And the victim in this was Mallory Beach. But to her friends and to her family, Mallory Beach was important, and so they kept fighting. Her friends described her as being a literal light, like she was sunshine. She was loyal and kind and funny. And her parents said that she trusted everyone, maybe a little too much. And as the community mourned the loss of this light in their community, they started to turn on the Murdaughs. First time in over 100 years, the Murdaughs weren't painted in this wonderful light anymore. But Mallory was just the beginning in the unraveling of the Murdaugh family. Just 2 years later, Paul and his mother Maggie were found unalived on the Murdaugh property. And all eyes were turned on the man who was at the center of everything, Alec Murdaugh. Please, if you made it to the end of this video, please write Mallory Beach in the comments because her name needs to stand above the Murdaugh family. You won't want to miss tomorrow's episode. I will see you tomorrow.